Hello everybody, thank you for coming back to Success Leaves Clues. Today's guest is Darren Sharp from Stafford Sharp Associates. I've known Darren for years. He runs a recruitment business. He's got so many people into our business. He's awesome. So Darren, tell us a little bit about yourself. You know, how long you've been in business, Daz?
For Stafford Sharp Associates, more affectionately known in the industry as SSA, so we're now just over 10 years. Predominantly within that digital and e-commerce arena. So notable clients, Ricky, naturally at RJDM. We also work with BBC, Next, Interflora, which are well-known brands in the high street.
So Darren, what's your story? How long, you know, you've had the business 10 years, but obviously you didn't start off in there. You know, what's your...
Prior to setting up SSA, was in recruitment. So was an MD of again, digital and IT. That's always been my remit. So we're now, God blimey, 18 years now. I think back, it just makes me sound older than I probably actually look. So 18 years within digital and IT. First started off recruiting for the likes of lastminute.com when they first started up many moons ago. So that was my interaction. Was then made up to MD, setting up an IT and digital recruitment agency that was based out of Milton Keynes. That ended abruptly through some unworthy business partners, and it left me, to be honest, in a hole. So it was, right, I'm here. This is what I know. This is what I'm good at. Lucky enough with the backing of my wife, she said, "Okay, pick yourself up. Let's go." Thus, Stafford Sharp Associates came out of my back office in my home, and here we are, just going up to 11 years later and doing reasonably well. So
you're in Dubai as well, aren't you?
So yeah, we're fortunate enough to have been able to work in the UAE. We've worked across Europe, worked Germany, particularly a lot within Munich and Berlin as well, which has all been great experiences. UAE's new, it's evolving, we're learning. You know, we do stuff for Atlantis. We've done stuff for Do Mobile, which is Dubai's leading mobile operator. So we've been fortunate to have some good clients and, you know, build on those bases.
And so what would you say for you in the early years was the biggest challenges then? From going from obviously your office in your room to then now obviously a team of people that you're working with.
I think challenges with any business, we set up as needs must, you know. So very little money in the pot. We hadn't had that rainy day fund saved up. So it was starting off hand to mouth. Like anything, cash flow's always an issue. There was bills to be paid. My son was only 1 at the time. So with that, that challenge was, I'm here, I'm on my own. It's only me that can do this. It's only me that can get myself and my family out of this hole. Like I said, lucky enough, I had the support of my wife, which, to be honest, that makes this all the more possible, you know, and the support still sort of drives me now and keeps us on the straight and narrow. So I think the biggest issues when we start off, one is cash flow. And I still think that can be an issue nowadays. It only takes a couple of clients to be late. And I think that evolves with every sort of small or any SME business. Cash flow is always king.
Yeah, and I think that's a really big thing in business, because it doesn't matter how busy you are, how successful you are as a business, you can have an order book stacked to the hilt, but if you haven't got money in the bank and you haven't managed your cash flow or done wait-and-see tests or anything like that, then, you know, you're knackered really, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean, we're in that unfortunate business. We don't get paid until someone actually starts, and then you've still got payment terms on top of that. So for me to go out and find, let's say, for instance, a head of e-commerce, that could take me 6 to 8 weeks to get the right candidate to go through the interview process. I've then got the notice period of that given client. Now that could be from 4 weeks, depending on the seniority, could be up to 3 months. 3 months, they then start, they're sat at their desk. I've then got 30 days to then get paid thereafter. So cash was never...
And also that with the 30 days thing as well, as a lot of companies now are trying to extend 30 days to 60 days, 60 days to 90 days. And with some of those problems, actually, you could have a 6 months before you receive any money.
Yeah, and you know, that's, again, another one of our biggest challenges. You know, again, I think one of our biggest culprits for that was when we started to deal with some of the bigger players in the marketplace, such as, I'm going to use Tesco's as an example. Once you're then within their arena, they dictate the payment terms. They're the big players in the marketplace. It's this or nothing. And you go, okay, well, it's a great brand. Should I? But sometimes you can't adhere to those terms because they're not profitable on the business. They take up a lot of time and you're being held by the short and curlies, as they say, to supply someone else's goods on their terms.
When we first met, I mean, we were working on Disneyland Connect. We were doing a project for Disney, and we had about 30 animators or something. We had a whole load of people that we needed to come through, and we were going through artists for skill levels for this particular project, because I mean Disney, they got 2 seconds of animation a day, really high quality animation. So you've got to constantly interview and get people, because problems a lot of companies have is they have so many people apply, but you have to qualify them, interview them. You know, it's a lot of work, and I think you know it's the right people, isn't it? It's like where do you go? Where do you start?
I think, I mean, fortunate enough, I've always stayed true to my sector. So over 18 years, I've got a good network, and I think that's, in today's game in particular, in the recruitment arena, your network is key. You know, there's a big skill shortage in the marketplace at the moment. I have to know where I can go and where my guys are working. So that's also competitor analysis. I need to know who works where, who works on what, and what they do. And you can only get that through knowledge. That's not something you can pick up overnight. So I suppose for me, staying true to what we do and being specialised has been the key to our success so far.
And I think the other thing is, like in the early years, you said you're working in the office and you're working all the hours that you had, and now, I mean, you're in Dubai quite a lot with a family, and like we've known each other for a long time. Family's a big part of it, and getting the systems and the development and the training and understanding cash and cash flow and how your business runs gives you time to have holidays and invest in the family as well, isn't it, as much?
Yeah, it does. You know, to be honest, I've been that one that's been guilty why I've been away on holiday. Unfortunately, that holiday for me is still a working holiday. I still made myself available for work. I've never had that luxury of just having a holiday for the sake of having a holiday. But that's something that we've now just started to change as the business evolves. It's putting in the right heads. A business is only as strong as my team below me. You know, the business just can't run on me. For years it has done. It's only recently that I've started to realise that if I'm on holiday, I need to be on holiday. I need to be able to trust my team underneath me to be able to lead the business and still build and develop the business while I'm not there.
And I'd say, like, one of the things at the moment which would be quite difficult is there's a lot of people now moving into the tech space, isn't it? I mean, it's a high demand area now for programmers and developers, and everyone suddenly wants that. So how do you cope with that demand? I mean, I know you've got a big network and you've got your team, but how are you coping with that?
For us, it is our biggest challenge. Marketplace at the moment, there is a skill shortage. That goes throughout tech. That goes from developers to designers, right up to the sort of program director level. Issue that the marketplace gives today, again, it goes back to training, and I still put it down to the educational piece. There's still not enough tech coming through or pushed within our marketplace to evolve us to the next level. So again, that's now created a skill shortage. More and more tech is needed, more and more tech is evolving, but there just isn't the skills to come through.
And one of the things I'd say in business, so particularly a lot of businesses, they will try and recruit people themselves. They will look to do that, and the problem is, because it's such a skill set in itself. I mean, you go through loads of CVs, you pull that together. You haven't got time in business to do all the recruiting yourself. You could easily say, well, actually, if I use a recruitment company, that's going to cost me money, and I don't really want to spend that money or what those margins are. But then, if you weren't doing that, what would you do with that time? You know, if you're looking at hours and hours of looking through CVs, you're not qualified for that. I mean, you have a whole team that do that for you.
Yeah, I mean, half of that is our sell to the client. And that's the educational piece, especially for tech companies that are maybe within that startup phase. They're very conscious of budgets, and so everybody should be. We'll do it in-house. We'll try and employ. We'll go out to market ourselves, but they don't have the network or the time and the manpower to be able to do that. for what we do as a company, we take that time away. Time's precious. You know, everybody is time poor, especially within a startup or a tech business. If we can take that away and link into our networks and present you with 2 to 3 right candidates, it's going to save you time, money and effort in the long run.
And that's a big thing, and that's been a big thing for us over the years. I know it is a lot with the other companies, because we'd write a spec and we'd say who we want and what that's going to be, which means that we can go out and make money and have interviews, not interviews with clients, but meet clients, talk to clients and sell ultimately, and do what we do best, because we're not recruitment companies. We know we want good people, but like when we were doing Disney, we weren't even allowed to say it was Disney really, because we'd have everyone and their dog. We had so many people apply. It was like we had to actually go under the radar a little bit to who and what we were working on, so that you could filter it for us, wasn't it?
Yeah, which is you know, one of the big benefits of being able to use an agency is that we can go out to market, we can generate the interest initially to be able to then feed it back. You know, and I think if you look at a big project like Disney, there's time restraints on these. What companies don't always get sometimes. What is the impact if you don't get this member of staff within the set period of time that can deliver to this project? People don't hit target, the project isn't delivered. Consequently, there's financial consequences for that project not being delivered. So as a recruitment company, hopefully we can take that pain away. But again, it's all about this educational piece and understanding where recruitment companies come in, especially specialists that know their marketplace well.
And one of the things that you're doing as well at the moment is you also go into businesses, don't you? You sort of profile them to what they need, what their business is going to look like in the future, who they may need. That's sort of some of the mapping of it.
Yeah, and that's something that we've started to do more recently. Due to industry, again, it's about knowing your arena, and we'll take RJDM as an example piece. Once we understand the culture where business is going and the market trends, you know, we're best set to see staffing trends, new trends within technology as well, because we're in it and we're submerging it daily. We can then come into a business, sit down with the hiring managers or the senior management team and look at where any pains are within the business. Because we know our industry, we know what staff do what, where they should fit, where salary expectations should be for one given marketplace. We can then give a mapping piece that hopefully takes some pain on and gives us a little bit of visibility on what can come next, and hopefully take some pressure off businesses for their next hires.
And you also do that in regionalisation, don't you? Because you sort of say within this region, this is sort of an average for this space, and this would be above market here, and you sort of map that throughout the UK, but also throughout the world really, for who you fit.
Yeah, so again, lucky with our geographic location. So when we set up in Milton Keynes, it's because it was central. But we're not limited to Milton Keynes. You know, our marketplace is predominantly 80% is UK. We've also got office up in Manchester, which is doing very well, very, very growing tech, big base in Midlands, going all the way down south for gaming companies. So we've done a lot in Malta as well, because again, online gaming is huge. Malta's the place to be on that. So we get an overview of the market as a whole. So we can take pieces, we know where people are working, what salaries they're on, and that gives us this mapping piece. So it's not countrywide, we can take it, tailor it specifically for each region and county.
And that's sort of really where you come in now, from an expert voice in that particular space, isn't it? I mean, that's...
Yeah, and that's, you know, I think as a specialist within this arena, again, that's where we carry weight. It's our market knowledge, and that's not just for us being able to find you the right staff. It's being able to help you define how that staff will look when you want it and when potentially you may need it, you know? So that helps with your forecasting, which is always a big thing. You know, we always know we're gonna need staff at a set amount of time within the tech industry. We may have this project coming up, X, Y, and Z, but for you to go out and forecast it and budget that for the project, where we can come in on a consultancy basis, we can help you give that staff in budgets in place up front, so you know what you're going out to pitch for.
And you headhunt for people as well. If someone says they want someone of a particular skill set or a mix, you go out and you actually go and headhunt for that. Yeah,
and to be honest, the way the market is now within the UK, because it's very candidate driven and talent driven, I would say probably 80% of the work is via our network, going out and having to knock on people's doors. people are, or candidates at the moment, not people, but candidates at the moment, in a very fortunate position because it's tech driven and it's skill driven. They don't have to go out and look for work because they'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 offers on the door. So their CVs aren't out there opening in the marketplace. It's the likes of myself going and presenting them to a new opportunity that's going to hopefully tick their boxes. 1, it's the right tech. 2, it's the right environment. 3, it's the right remuneration package that's going to get them engaged and then make them looking.
And so now, as you've grown your business, because you have over those years, what's success for you going forward?
Success for me now going forward, we've now just taken the step of pushing our Manchester branch, and now Stafford. That was always a sub office for us that sort of serviced the BBC and our clients in the northwest. We've now just started to staff that up and grow that. We've now put in new procedures within the business. We've now nice management team in place. Hopefully take some weight off me, although I've not seen it yet. But growing forward is to grow, particularly our northwest marketplace.
Because also, we said about Dubai. How often are you in Dubai? Because you seem to be there.
So Dubai, I'm probably in and out of Dubai 4 times a year, and looking to grow that. We're in talks at the moment with different companies over in Dubai, looking at viabilities of whether or not it is viable to set up or whether we can still work it remotely. But at the moment, we've just finished a piece off for, as I said, Atlantis, for part of their e-com team. So we're lucky. Dubai at the moment is probably 10 years behind where we are on e-commerce and digital. So they like the expats, so we can take our market knowledge from the UK, take our guys and place them into Dubai without being in there.
Is that a growing space then? That you see?
Very, very much. Tech and the digital piece within Dubai is huge. It was always about bricks. It was always about their retail space. They realise now that everybody comes into Dubai for 3 to 4 days, normally on business. They can't always get to the shops. They can't always get out. So they need the digital piece in place. And again, a lot of expats are now sat in senior management positions. We're used to buying online. We're not used to going out to the shops as much. So it's now evolving. And naturally, they've just won 2020. So there's a huge push on everything to be their new systems, whether that be new system at the airport for identification and access management that we're just doing a little piece with Emirates at the moment, and or whether or not it's I can buy a little bit of jewellery from Tiffany's online in Dubai and still get the same service and have it delivered to my hotel. So it's evolving hugely. Again, impact of 2020.
So let's go back a second. So if we go back 18 years or 10 years now from your business, what's the one piece of advice you'd give yourself now, or that you'd give the audience now, considering from that 10?
Well, now there's a tough one. A bit of advice I would give. I'd always say stay true to your goals and your morals. We always set the business up that we would do the best that we could do. And we've always stuck to that, that's always been our goal. We'll do things differently. We'll work with you as opposed to for you. That way we can get the best out and we work in partnership. And we've always done that, and so far it's stead us in good stead.
Thank you, Darren, for coming on for Success Leaves Clues. Are you going to come on again? You don't know that yet, but we will. Stafford Sharp Associates, awesome if you're looking for recruitment. Really pleased that the business is doing so well for you, mate, because it is. The offices that you have and the space that you have is absolutely awesome.
Thank you.
So thank you once again, and hope you have an awesome week or weekend. Take care.